Good evening, everyone. My name is Joel Volvante, and I'm here to discuss Module 17, Part 4, or the Social Media for Development. We're referencing Module 18. First, let's look at the following objectives. Number one, discover the uses of social media in development work. Number two, discuss the challenges, opportunities, and potential of social media in our work. And number three, implement sound strategies that align with development work. Now, first, let's define social media or social networking. Social networking, according to Seltzer, is the act of engagement where groups of people with common interests are associated and build relationships through a shared community of interests. Now, this interest can be aligned towards video content. It can also be aligned towards photo content. It can be aligned towards writing content. Now let's look at the following examples of social media applications. According to Meltwater, a media agency around the world, here are the top five most used social media accounts in the country. Number one is Facebook Messenger. Facebook and Facebook Messenger, which is a free social networking site for connecting with families and friends. Number two is TikTok, which is a fairly new social media in the Philippines. In China, it is known as Douyin. It is a social media platform for sharing short form video content. Number three, we have Instagram, which is part of the family of Facebook under Meta. Instagram is a platform specializing on sharing photo content via cataloging. Number four, we have X or Twitter. X shares short form messages to interact with its users. And number five is Telegram. Telegram is a messaging app that allows users to share photos, videos, and other types of content. Now, how is these social media accounts relevant in our development work? Since these are the most used social media accounts, it will be relevant for us to know how we'll be able to engage in our target audiences, the type of content that we want to present to them. If we want to do a video content, we can do it with TikTok or Facebook Reels. If you want to create a word content, word-based content, we can do it with X. So there's a lot of things to consider when we're creating our content, especially for social work. Now, why do we need to use social media for development work? Or what makes a good development communication medium? If you look at the numbers, these social media accounts are used by 90.8 million Filipinos, which accounts to around 78% of our total population. Also, if you look at the following stats, most people use social media on average 3 hours a day, which is a lot of time. And if you look at the cumulative use of social media accounts here in the Philippines, meaning if you're using Facebook and then afterwards you're going to use YouTube, or afterwards you're going to use Twitter, the accumulated average time of using these social media accounts is around 8 hours and 52 minutes. Therefore, we know that a lot of Filipinos use these social media accounts and are very much engaged with using them. Almost one third of our time are spent on using these social media accounts. Therefore, it will be very relevant for us development workers to use these mediums to further our communication goals. Now, what is the power of social media and communication development? According to our study in the UN Foundation Summit, or the SGS, we can see that many people around the world are engaging in different conferences to examine the impact of technology and new media on the global social good initiatives. For this year, we'll host the Social Good Summit here in the Philippines, which will be shown or which will be attended by many celebrities and well-known people around the world that does development work, such as Amal Clooney, George Clooney, of course, our very own Maria Ressa, Risa Ontiveros, and many other um, people that are proponents of social work or proponents of development work. Another thing to consider is that a lot of businesses also do campaigns for different causes. Like, for instance, the Pepsi Refresh campaign. Now, the Pepsi Refresh campaign has a message that is called Refresh the World, which aims to facilitate consumer engagement through consumer community initiatives by diverting its marketing budget to philanthropy. And through this program, they were able to um, tap onto 132 schools and organizations, 40 communities receiving affordable housing and parks, and 21 neighborhood parks were refreshed. Of course, this is just one of the ways that big businesses can help people drive the message of helping others and how we can further solve our development goals in our society. Another creative execution that we can do through social media is creating games for our target audiences, particularly the youth. An example of this is USAID's Innovation in Youth Capacity Engagement Program, which aims to engage youth to participate in nation building. So basically, what they did is they created a live sim game called Our City, which encourages players to learn how to fix community problems through gaming. Some of the mechanics of this game is to do problem solving for the city, try to um, they have certain goals to alleviate certain problems about the city, trying to solve them. So there's a lot of problem solving and analyzing involved um, in this game, which reflects the real world. And hopefully, through this experience, these youths, these children, will be able to apply this in real life and will be engaged in working towards the betterment of our society. Now, here in the Philippines, we use DevCom materials also in social media. Particularly, our example here, especially for DOH, we use a lot of social media posting about FAQs, frequently asked questions, where we try to debunk fake news information in social media. We also use these platforms to inform people on the types of rare diseases that are common in our the rare diseases rather that are present in our society. So DevCom materials in social media should aim to communicate and inform communities while also fostering changes in behavior and increasing participation. Based on our book, in community development, one can use social media to facilitate social networking, and conversely, one can network, form partnerships, and build relationships by leveraging social media. Now, to summarize our learnings for today, social media is a powerful tool in communication, especially with development work, for its global reach and engagement. Though, even though this has a big number when it comes to reach our target audiences, we need to be we need to be competitive when it comes to gaining the attention of our target audiences because there's a lot of content roaming around social media. Thus, our messaging needs to be very effective to capture people's attentions. We also need to practice sensitivity in our communication due to the many cultures participating in social media sites in order for us to drive our message across all people. And last but not the least, we need to build relationships with our core audiences to foster communities. That is it for my presentation. Thank you for taking the time to listen. And here are my discussion questions. You can check my example here or take a screenshot. I will be posting it also on my report module. Here are my references as well if you want to check out some of the books that I've read for this report. And basically, that's it. Thank you so much and God bless.